So today I'm going to be doing another book chat video. I realize I haven't done one of these in close to a year. That is because this year has been kind of reading slumpy for me. But I finally got through 6 books. That's right, 6 books in 9 months, which is ridiculous considering I used to read 50 books during summer break. But some of the books that I'm reading are a lot heavier and a lot thicker, so maybe I can be forgiven. As I mentioned in my last one, I believe I had just finished The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the first book of The Lord of the Rings. I have also finished book 2 and book 3, so that is The Two Towers and Return of the King. I may have shown you different covers last time. These are David's copies. We were reading them together, as you know. We also both own copies, so yeah. But yeah. I absolutely love The Lord of the Rings. It's one of my all-time favorite stories. I've read it at least 4 times now, which is pretty good considering it's a pretty heavy, dense, but very beautifully written book. So if you haven't read The Lord of the Rings, I do recommend it, but I've said that before, so I'll try not to keep rambling. Another thing that's kind of just going off of more that I was talking about before was that I was reading the Game of Thrones books. So I did finish A Feast for Crows, which was the 4th book, I believe. So this one sort of corresponds with seasons 4 and 5-ish. It starts getting kind of messy after book 3. But yeah, so A Feast of Crows was very, very good. I also just very recently finished A Dance with Dragons, which is the 5th and last available book in the series. There is 1 or 2 more books coming, but obviously I haven't read them because they're not out yet. I can't wait for Winds of Winter, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be Winds of Winter and like a Song of Spring or something like that. But yeah, I am entirely caught up on the books that are out, aside from the encyclopedia. I will get there, but I haven't finished all of the novels. And just to point out why this is taking me so long, this book is like 1,100 pages. This book is also 1,000 pages, and then The Lord of the Rings is at least another 1,000 pages. Then, as any Harry Potter fan surely knows, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child came out this year, and I read it pretty much immediately. I got through it really, really quickly. It is a play, so it's a bit different than trying to read one of the Harry Potter novels, but it is another Harry Potter story. I would absolutely love to go to see the play, but obviously that is in England, so unlikely. It is also based on a story by J.K. Rowling, but she's not a playwright, so she did have people help her, the John Tiffany, Jack Thorne, blah blah. So it isn't perfectly her writing, but you can definitely feel her tone in it, in my opinion. I really liked it. It's short and sweet, but really, really good. It's kind of cool seeing the old characters again, but also meeting their children. And yeah, I am just such a fangirl, and I'll pretty much take anything J.K. Rowling gives me. So I was super, super happy to have this come out, and I was super excited to read it. And I was just really happy to have another piece of this. I can't wait until the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie comes out in November. I believe there's going to be a trilogy or a duology. I think there's going to be 3. Then finally, I cut down my reading goal for the year, which was originally going to be 26 books, but considering I've only read 6 up to this point, and there's only like 3 months left in the year, that would be 20 books in 3 months, and that is ridiculous. So I've cut it down to 13. I'm already a book behind on that goal, but I'm definitely going to get to 13. I will read 13 books. So I just finished Animal Farm. Some people will call this cheating. I don't think so. I've been meaning to read Animal Farm for a really long time. It is only 120 pages, but it's a really, really interesting novel, or maybe novella, because it's so short. If you haven't read Animal Farm, it's basically a satire on dictatorships. More specifically, I feel like communism, but I guess also fascism. And obviously Orwell was writing during a time where that was really, really important. I believe it originally came out in 1945. So this was very, very topical at the time. And it's really interesting because it's written about animals. All the characters are animals, or on a farm, animal farm, and they run the humans off the farm and try to run it themselves. and just like the hierarchies and the things that go wrong and the things that like shift and change and pervert. It's really interesting to see it, and it kind of shows you how like how there can be like this utopian ideal of like this beautiful community that all works together and everybody does the work that they have and they should do, and the weak get like special privileges because they need more help, and the strong do extra work because they can, and everybody is given what they need to survive, and then how power structures form out of that, and how that beautiful utopia gets distorted into a horrible dystopia by the people who become the top of the thing. And it was a really short story to get that through, but it's crushingly depressing, almost like surprisingly depressing, which is kind of the point. So if you don't like depressing, I mean, I'd still recommend reading it. It's 120 pages. It's going to take you maybe 3 hours of your time. And I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that I finally finished reading it. So those are all of the books. I did make a list on Goodreads of all of the books that I was planning to read this year. I had them all laid out, like 2 books a month, except for December, which is going to have 3 books. And then I just wasn't reading the books that I set out for myself. I jumped into Animal Farm, which was supposed to be one of December's books because it's so thin. And now I'm reading Twilight. So things have kind of gone wrong. Basically, I just really wanted to read vampire books, so I wasn't reading the book that I had out, so I wasn't reading anything at all. And I decided I should just read what I want to read. So now I'm reading Twilight, so that'll be my next 4 books probably, unless I break it up. I also got Tale of the Body Thief, which is the 4th novel in the Vampire Chronicles trilogy, Vampire Chronicles series from Anne Rice out of the library. I own the book, but I can't find it anywhere, so yeah, I got that one and the next one coming. So I want to get back into the Anne Rice vampires as well. They are my preference over the Twilight vampires, but personally, I really like Twilight as well. I haven't read it since grade 12 probably, so that's been 8 years, and I bought the books probably about a year or 2 after I read them. So they're like fresh, brand new books that have just been sitting on my bookshelf because I wanted to own the series, but I didn't get around to rereading it at any point. So I'm finally rereading it. I'm finally opening up those like fresh, untouched books, and I'm really enjoying the first one so far. So yeah, hopefully that will be in my next one. I hope to have another book chat video up probably at the end of November or December, depending. So yeah, I should probably have 5 books at the end of November that I have read, hopefully, so that should probably be the next video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my book videos. I really like doing them, so I'm going to keep sprinkling them in as I keep reading books, but let me know if you enjoy them, and maybe I will try to do more book-related things. Also, don't forget to subscribe to see more videos from me, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite book is or what you're reading right now and how you're liking it. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Tutorial, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, so we will see what happens. The only thing that I do know that I want to do with this video is that I'm planning to use a bunch of the products that I'm mentioning in my ride or die tag. She's being very insistent. Okay, so we're going to try and do this without her on my lap. For my eyes, I'm going to use the Naked palette, the original.